Welcome back to Investing with Confidence. And we talk about investing with confidence in the stock market, talking about options, futures, Forex, different ways that us as the average person or the public, the retail investor, can make better and smarter investing decisions. And that can be within your trading accounts or your long-term wealth accounts, 401ks and IRAs. We have investing classes that we do right here in Bloomington, talk about all those different topics, 401ks, IRAs, making smart decisions in there, but also trading for income potential. Just call 952-814-4410 for 2 tickets for this class, or text the word INVEST to the number 484848. When you do that, you're going to receive a text back with a link. Pick a date within that link. We're going to get you a financial quick start kit just for doing that, which includes some free stock picks. Everybody likes free stuff. So, Al, we talked about some different fundamental analysis. We were talking about earnings, which really creates opinions in the financial markets. It creates an opinion on a stock, and that really doesn't drive price. Real supply and demand or institutional order flow actually moves price. So we were talking about PayPal, I believe in the first segment.
Right.
And you said that it had, it got spanked. It had terrible earnings, and it dropped. I think it was about $100 a share roughly. I can go back and check in a little bit. But
it was a lot.
It was a lot, we'll say, big percentage-wise.
Right.
Now, let's talk about Netflix here. I know we talked about Netflix I think it was a couple weeks ago. And Netflix had actually... They had some news out where they had negative subscribers, or they had less subscribers than expected, but they had great earnings that reported on January 20th. So what happened there? They had great earnings, but price dropped roughly about 30%, and that was almost in overnight. So that's why it's so important you to know that you can't just trust earnings reports. And that doesn't move the stock price. So it's really based off of supply and demand. And Netflix actually roughly right now, as we speak, about 37% off their highs. So in the markets, is this at a discount now? Could this continue to go down? But things are going good, technically, with earnings. They have great earnings. So I want you to kind of unpack that a little bit. Why is it so important to learn how to read a price chart, which is how the price actually moves, how the market actually functions, but that actually cannot lie either.
Right. Well, history is full of examples like this where a company had great earnings and people assumed the price of the stock would go up based on it, and it did the opposite and went down. Netflix is an example of a kind of a combination of things. Their earnings were good. If that's all you looked at, you would have assumed that their stock would go up. But one of the things that really impacts a company like Netflix is their subscribers. And if the future subscriber number is in question, that's going to impact a company like that. So bottom line is that what you think should happen or is going to happen based on an earnings report may not be what happens.
Yeah.
What is important, though, is to know what the people with a lot of money are going to be doing with that company.
Yeah.
And they may feel that the valuation of the company, even if the earnings were good, is too high to begin with, and they want to get back to a more normal valuation.
Yeah.
Can the big players, can they impact the value of something? Can they impact I shouldn't say the value, but can they impact the price of something? Absolutely. And they can do that, and they do that to benefit their bottom line.
Yep.
So it's important not to just look at what you think should happen or even what they might tell you is going to happen. Look at what they're going to do. Look at what they're doing. You follow their actions, because that's what's real. It's not what you think should happen.
Real quick here, how do you help people here at the Academy when they come in and they have emotions in the market? How do you help them disconnect from that?
Yeah, and that's part of what we built into the core strategy is a step-by-step process, a rules-based process. What we have also done over the last couple of years is developed a trading and analysis platform called Click that our students use, which kind of is like your mother taking you by the hand and leading you down the path to success. It makes you follow those rules to the point where it's going to tell you, it's going to give you a qualification of an entry or of a position. Is it a good high quality position? In other words, low risk, high probability, high profit potential. It spells that out for you. If it's not, if it's something that violates what's unique to you, that you kind of customize Click to show you, it's going to tell you that, hey, don't do this trade because it violates your risk level, for example, or you're trying to put too high a position, too large a position together. It's going to keep you out of things that are bad for you and give you an accurate or very highly accurate indication of whether this is a good quality trade that you should take.
Yeah, I think of a lot of our listeners are searching for something like that, searching for something to guide them through their investment decisions. Because who really helps you with your investment decisions out there right now? It's not your broker, it's not your advisor. They may persuade you to sell you a fund for whatever reason it could be. Could it be because it gives them the highest fee? I've been talking to a lot of friends right now where they've been having not very good accounts, because what's happening is the market's going down, they're losing to the market, but they're also paying those fees on those crazy mutual fund fees. Right. So if you want to learn more about how to be guided through your investment strategies, your investment decisions, and really have more confidence in moving forward with what your accounts are doing, Al teaches these investing classes right here in Bloomington, explains how these markets work in different ways and strategies to hopefully have your best interest in the financial markets. So call 952-814-4410 for 2 tickets for this investing class. You're also going to receive some free stock picks. You can also text the word invest to the number 484848, but you got to do that right now. We'll get you a call right back to schedule one of these investing classes. They're only 2 hours. The great thing, Al, is they're physical, and they're right here in Bloomington. So we talked about some different stocks here today, and one of the topics that we've been talking about really for the past 6 to 8 months, maybe even the whole year here, past year, is oil. Oil's been, on a tear. It took a pullback starting in October down to into December, but then now really on a tear. And we've been talking about the supply zone for several weeks here that it's getting very close to. Now, is this the end target for oil? Is it possible? It's possible. Is it going to be? We don't know. But you never know what the market's going to do. Now, how do you help people make smart investing decisions? Because you never know what it's going to do, but you got to put, as you were talking about in the second segment, low risk, high reward, high probability entry points into the financial markets.
Yeah, it's putting odds in your favor that something is going to work beneficially to you. And it really doesn't make any difference what the company is or what the company does. It's whether there are going to be buyers or sellers that enter the picture for that particular company or that particular asset. The important thing is to, again, put the odds in your favor. How do you increase the probabilities of you being successful? And that's what our core strategy does. That's what we talk about in these classes. How do you do that? It's not predicting what the market is going to do. It's increasing your probabilities of being successful. And that might mean going against what the market is doing. If you can identify, again, what the people with big money that actually control the movement of individual stock prices and the market in general, if you can kind of ride their coattails, just identify what they're doing, that significantly increases your odds of being successful. Because when they take a position, when Goldman Sachs, for example, takes a position in a stock, they've already analyzed it. They know what the true value is, and that's what they want to pay for it. They're not going to pay any more than what the true value is to them. And they also know when the value has been exceeded, when it's overvalued, when they want to get out of a position. Wouldn't your odds be increased significantly if you could just follow what companies like that are doing? And they're showing us on a price chart what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I was actually going to bring that up. A lot of people ask, well, how do we identify where these banks, institutions are moving price, where they're turning price? It is, as Al is talking about, on a price chart, because that doesn't lie. That's where you get your data from. Basically, in trading and investing, you have a platform. We actually have a proprietary platform, as you were talking about earlier. It's called Click. That's where you get all your data from, and that's where you make your investment decisions, because that's telling you exactly what's happening. It's kind of like we get a lot of construction people here. Think of a blueprint or a plan for a building or for some site work. That's telling you exactly what it should look like, what's happening, and then you have to follow that plan. If you don't follow that plan, you might be building a crooked house with a crooked car and stuff like that.
I think the leaning tower of pizzas.
You're exactly right. So that's why it's important to have a plan, follow that plan, and just execute it. The great thing is the platforms will actually execute automatically for you. So you were talking about earlier about how to disconnect and remove emotion. How you do that is place your trades, and then you basically let the computer do it for you. You don't have to watch your investments because that creates emotion. If you need help with some of these investing decisions, how to make smarter decisions, call 952-814-4410 for 2 tickets for an investing class. It's hands-on right here in Bloomington, physical to see how these markets work. 952-814-4410 or text the word invest to 484848. Coming up next, we're going to talk about some moving forward here, what could happen in these financial markets, just an opinion on the market. Coming up next. We'll be right back.